Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome to Breakthrough Insights. It's one of a kind web show that we are doing where we are interviewing professionals and experts who practice the craft on an everyday basis so that we can capture intelligence and insights that these experts have been able to distill by working and implementing these things in real life situations. The theme that we are going to be covering today is process improvement. It's part of a research that we are doing for a book on continuous process improvement on autopilot. Now, you all know that organizations they struggle very hard to ensure that their processes keep improving, and we have seen traditionally a lot of manpower, infrastructure, and other resources get engaged to achieve process improvement within organizations. Today, we are going to be talking with Amit Ranjan, who is an agile coach and a lean management expert. And we will uh, understand from him the kind of work that he does and what kind of insights that he has to every day uncover while working with people and working with these methodologies. So, Amit, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Aman, and hello everybody.
Okay. So, Amit, I told the viewers that you are a lean expert and an agile coach. Why don't you give us a short bio as to what your profile is and in what capacity have you been working?
I am into IT world for more than 12 years, and I am a lean agile coach. My basic work is to improve the process of software development, whatever the team is practicing, and at the same time, I am helping teams to move from traditional project management methods to agile and lean methods, more primarily into Scrum, Lean, Kanban, etc.
So, for a beginner, Amit, could you share what the agile method is all about?
So if you look at traditional project management method or software development method, so it was waterfall kind of thing. Means it was sequential. First you do analysis, then designing, coding, testing, and at the end of 6 months or 1 year, you got to see what software you have developed. But if you look at agile method, this the reverse of this process. So instead of doing the entire analysis designing, you take do a cut across all these lines, and you come up with the working software in 2 to 4 weeks of time period. So you are getting early feedback from the market. At the same time, your time to market to the product is also very less. So instead of waiting for 6 months or 1 year, you get the working software ready to be deployed or ready to be delivered in the market in 2 to 4 months or 2 to 4 weeks of time. So you are getting the real hands-on on the working software much earlier than the traditional methods. So this is the concept behind agile methodology, how you can reduce your time to market.
Okay, Amit, natural question is that what earlier would take 6 months now takes only 6 to 12 weeks. So, how is it that you jump directly at prototyping the software, or do you spend a lot of time in planning and understanding what the requirement from the software could be?
Iterative incremental model where a small piece of software will be put into the market, and every iteration you will have on top of the existing software, the additional features will be built. So you don't have to wait for the entire software to be working. So if you can
Okay.
see apps which are coming into the market, so they are
That's
coming with just one feature, getting the real time feedback from the customer and then build on top of that.
excellent, excellent. So I think these softwares, like you rightly pointed out, the apps world is completely working on this model. They make a small working prototype, which is not, very feature rich. And as they listen from the customers, they kind of, go back to the drawing board and add new features. I think that really is the future of how software development, will be deployed in the coming years. So great. So what kind of benefits does an agile methodology deliver to an organization?
The first thing that it delivers is you get early feedback from your customer. Suppose you're coming with an app for take a case like Food Panda.
Okay.
No, so you don't need your entire software to be developed and tested and getting insight from the customer. You just launch a skeleton of your software. You get the feedback. You ask the customers what kind of feature you need, and then build your software as per the user's need. So this is
Okay.
one of the aspects of today's software development, which is very rapidly changing in terms of rapidly changing market. But
Right.
this is very much applicable for big software organizations also. I'm just giving you one of the examples how it can how you can get the real feedback from customer in the early phase of software development also. And these are the real feedback which the customer is looking for.
Okay. So in the traditional way, I mean, the user acceptance testing, what was earlier considered for different phases, so that user acceptance testing now is fully blown to a complete customer experience.
Right.
So okay, so great. So tell me your experience of working with Agile and other methodologies. What kind of cash benefits in terms of productivity increase or saving in development time are the organizations able to see by implementing Agile technology?
So I'll give you example of two methods.
Okay,
So first, I'll give you example of Kanban. So Kanban is basically derived from a Toyota. It was basically implemented to manufacturing world, but IT world has also derived lots of things from this mechanism. So in Kanban, there is something called VSM, value stream mapping. So value stream mapping is what are the things from which you are generating a value. Take a case, you are ordering a pizza. So you are on your mobile app and you have ordered a pizza. Now, what value you are generating? After half an hour or 1 hour, you will receive a pizza. At the same time, the company which is delivering you, they will get a cash.
right,
What are the steps involved in between? So you are first logging to your mobile phone and then ordering the pizza. The order goes to the workstation or the pizza store. Then they start manufacturing it or cooking it. From there, the boy takes the pizza to your home and delivering that. So, what are the value generating system? At one end, you are the value generating system because you are getting the raw hand pizza. Other end, where they are receiving the money, whatever money you have given to them. But look at what are the in between things. The time which has spent from your machine to taking the request to pizza store and then the delivery boy to deliver you.
right,
Now look at you in a big city and the pizza, take a case Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut is delivering to 50 stations, 50 locations. So if you come up with this model, so this value stream mapping, you can count at each stage how much time you are wasting in doing non-revenue generating event.
right,
One of the non-revenue generating event is the delivery boy to deliver pizza to your home. That guy is not generating any revenue.
right,
So with stream mapping, you can see whether hub and spoke mechanism will be working for you. It means you have a centralized place, and from there you are distributing the pizza to all the location, or you can have one-to-one mapping. So at different locations, you can have different pizza huts, and from there they can deliver pizza to the nearest user. So when they
okay,
create so value stream, whether go with hub and spoke mechanism or they can have one-to-one distributed channel.
okay,
The same thing applies to software development also.
okay,
Take, take a case, you are getting requirement from the customer
hmm,
and you are delivering them a software. So
Mhm.
we have this system, one at the customer end, one when the software is delivered. Now in between you have design, analysis, coding, testing phase, and then you have workforce associated with each stage. Now by
Right.
applying value mapping, you can optimize number of people at each stage because you know how many developers you need, how many testers you need when the project starts. So probably you can start with your gut feeling or by doing some kind of historical analysis. But this visual value stream mapping gives you exact figure how much people you need at each stage.
Okay.
This visual value stream mapping can be utilized at many other places like toll plaza, where number of vehicles are coming and waiting to cross that plaza. So you can utilize
Mhm.
these methods, optimize those processes as well.
Okay. Very interesting, Amit. Okay, Amit, tell me something. I'm taking a little step back from process improvement. It's often said that we find for ourselves, careers that are, outer reflection of who we are internally. So tell me, how did you, start off your career in process improvement? What is it about this domain that attracted you, that kind of made you to make up your mind to go ahead in this field?
So, yeah. So in my career, I have worked with many big MNCs, but everywhere but lot many places I have seen we are generating lots of waste in terms of process, in terms of people management. And one day I got a chance to attend a seminar on Agile.
Okay.
And there I got introduced to these methods, and then slowly I started my intention towards this. And after that, I did lots of training and seminars, attended seminars and certification in that area.
Okay.
And why this is attracting me is it gives you always the scope of improvement.
Right.
Here it is saying continuous improvement means whatever stage you are, just try to find how you can improve on, and
That's
from baseline you improve.
okay.
There is nothing called improved state. It's always improving state.
That's true. That's true. Rightly said.
And these methods are really applied to our human life also. Like whenever I cross a toll plaza or whenever I have to go to railway station or aerodrome, I always see how we can apply this method to improve the process. How I can cut down the time which is non-productive. So it doesn't matter where you are standing, where you are sitting, you can apply at any place, at any method, at any time.
Interesting, Amit. Okay, tell me this. In your line of work, which is being a process improvement specialist, what is your work kind of seasonal, or is it very well planned? How does the cycle of your engagement in your work kind of flows through? And do you get a lot of emergencies and firefighting situations every day, or do you get enough time to plan? Or I just want to understand, for the benefit of others who want to go into process improvement as a career, that how does the job of a process improvement specialist look like?
Yes, so process improvement, yes, we are getting lots of ad hoc requests. It's like a firefighting only, but the planning has to be done, improper because
Okay.
plan the review process properly. So it requires lots of time, lots of understanding of the as-is process, the constraints. I cannot come up with a solution which may not be technically feasible or economically viable. So we need to do lots of study of the current system. So there is a method called DILO. DILO stands for DILO, day in the life of.
Okay.
So whenever we talk about the process improvement, we have to really look at what is the day in the life of that particular user, that particular process.
Hmm.
and then we have to do lots of analysis, around that process. Then we have to do lots of research on the organizational, culture, the economical status. Then we prepare a to be solution. When we create a to be solution, we also understand what kind of financial it will impact and what kind of ROI it will give you. And unless we get 1:1 ratio, the investment must be lesser than the return of investment. So suppose you are given $X to the system, you must get X plus return. So this requires lots of analysis, lots of study. So based on that only we take lots of requests, lots of ad hoc requests. The teams will come, okay, we are facing this problem. But the solution is always a time taking process. It is have to. So there is no template as such. If you deal with the problem, I have a ready-made solution. Probably the problem may look similar, or the same, but the solution always differs based on the place, based on the culture of the team, based on the nature of the work, based on the impact that it will bring to the people, and the impact that it will bring to the
Okay. Interesting, Amit. One question that comes to my mind is that you must be working with a team of professionals, and I'm sure lots of them would be, newbies and people who have just joined the organization who may not have so much of process improvement knowledge or experience. Now, working with people who are fairly fresh to the idea of process improvement, what are some insights that you have, uncovered while working with, especially new hires into the organization? How is their attitude towards process improvement, and is the whole process improvement methodology intuitive a methodology for people to understand that, okay, I'm doing it like this, and of course I can do it like that also, which can save me time? Or is it counterintuitive in the sense that it does not seem right at the first instance, but of course when you pursue it, it is the right way to go? So give us a little insight into this area.
With my experience, I'd say that, and you will surprised to know, for the newcomers in the industry, they welcome more the process improve. Sometimes, the people who are accustomed to doing a certain way of work come up with new process improvement areas. They always think that, hey, this is not good. So we have seen lots of resistance from people who are in the industry. But newer generation, the mind-blowing ideas they have, the energy and enthusiastic that they are bringing, and lots of easier to work with them. Getting aligned with their, and the more they are ready to face the challenge. I think it's easy with them to implement process improvement.
Okay, interesting, interesting. Amit, I think your voice is cracking up a little bit. So I will ask you to kind of, increase the distance between you and the mic so that yeah, I think that should do. Okay, great. So Amit, carrying on, if you were the leader of such a process where there are a lot of newbies and people with high levels of motivation who have joined the organization who may not have lot of knowledge like we said, but and as a business leader or a process leader, you would want to leverage the great ideas that most of your workforce, which is the younger part of the workforce, has. Then what are some things that you would do based on your experience?
So so whenever I work with my younger generation team, I always try to leverage their energy
Okay.
and box thinking. So lot many people, and if you look at the new IT areas like the analytics,
Hmm.
so which was not available when I was undergoing the change of IT. So new generation is coming with lots of ideas, and particularly the app industry, it has changed the whole dimension of youth. You know, they know how the process is impacting the youth now, what kind of changes they want. So I am taking inputs while making my process. So whenever I am changing any process, I always look at the people aspect of the process.
Hmm.
It is going to impact them. And considering today's IT world where we have lots of young mobile phone to use software, so I
Hmm.
always look at their convenience. Then we have something called UX designing, which is how you can make your UI more user friendly. So I take lots of input from them. So their energy, their new ideas, at the same time their adaptability and acceptability to change. So
Right.
they are very new and they are very open for new ideas because they are not, so they are always ready to change.
Right. Right. So, Amit, if there were any advice that you would want to give to, freshers or newbies or people who have, only a limited amount of experience working in process and who want to go into this domain, what three pieces of advice would you like to give them?
So whenever I have to give advice to anybody, whether it's a fresher or experience, I always tell them I have a model called CPU model.
All right, that's interesting. What does that model say?
So C stands for customer.
Okay.
So whatever process you are looking at, look at who is your customer and for whom you are, optimizing it.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you are optimizing a process, first look at the customer perspective. How much it is going to cost the customer? What are the technical technologies that is required for this? Is your customer ready to adopt that? It should not happen that the process is very nice, but my customer is not ready to accept this.
Okay.
So whenever look for the process, look for your customer. So CPU, the first C is customer.
Okay.
Second is people.
Okay.
People who will be working for this optimization of your process. How much ready they are, what kind of knowledge they should know, whether they are aware of as is process and to be process or not. It will not happen that as is process without understanding the as is process you jumped into to be process. So you have to really understand from the people's perspective.
Okay.
And third thing is you. So before making any process improvement, put your shoe in front of the customer and see have this process has this process been applied on you, how you would have reacted, what kind of benefits you would have got from that. So always look at CPU method and then remember the dialogue. Always look what is the day in the life of your customer. So look from days life perspective and then optimize the process.
Fantastic, Amit. I think the CPU methodology that you shared, it had everything. If you ask me, it had customer centricity, it had the people angle, and it had the U, which is the complete empathizing with the customer to see the change when implemented is going to result in what kind of reactions are you going to get from the customers. Fantastic, Amit. I think that was really valuable. Okay, Amit, tell me something from all the other process improvement methodologies that you have worked on, agile being one, which we talked about briefly. You also have worked with lean. So what has your experience been with lean as a methodology and its relevance maybe in today's times?
So lean always talks about how to reduce the waste. Now, with waste could be anything. Suppose you are wasting your time standing in a queue. Suppose you are going by metro from one place to another place. So the time that you have wasted to take the ticket, time you have wasted to enter into the railway station, time you have wasted to catch the train. So these all are wastes. So lean gives you an idea how to reduce the waste, whether it could be software development, day-to-day human activity. So the beauty of lean is it gives you the perspective from human life also. How you can reduce waste in your day-to-day activity.
Mhm.
So the same thing you can apply to your workplace. Even now, people are applying these methods while decorating their home. Take a guess if you're constructing your kitchen, then where should be the position of your so the place where you can wash the utensil,
Okay,
and
the same. Okay.
what distance between two places where you are keeping the utensil, so you can
Hmm.
apply it to all the places. Look at how granular you can go and apply to your day-to-day life and to the IT world and to the manufacturing industry. So lean has the beauty, it is widely applicable any place, anywhere. So although I am more towards IT, but I always look lean from the perspective how it can improve the human life.
Okay.
To your surprise, now we have come up with the concept called lean agriculture.
Okay.
How we can apply lean to the agriculture industry.
Hmm. Give us a little insight into that.
Yeah, so if you look at how we are, sowing the crops, so there also you can apply lean. Then what is the distance between two rows of different crop, and then how you can put water into that. So everywhere you can see how you can reduce the time or you can maximize the flow of water. So at each field you can look at how much water is getting waste without reaching to the plant, and then you can reduce those things.
Okay.
So it has the implementation till that stage, right from software to manufacturing, even to agriculture to day-to-day activity. So whenever I'm looking for process improvement, I always think how it is going to impact the human life. So that is the beauty of lean.
Right. So in while these softwares are under development,
Mhm.
I you know does it at the time that you're planning for the software development, are you able to also predict what kind of lean opportunities where you can apply lean will happen for you? Or is it that when you have already developed something and you look back, so is it, so the question that I want to ask is it an after the fact activity that you look back and analyze, or is it something that you can start off with and make that an integral part of your design as well? Acha, is your did your internet go off or something? Why are you? But okay, can you just click on that link again and join back into the broadcast? Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm back now.
Oh, welcome back, Amit. We missed you for that little bit. Okay. Okay, so Amit, let me ask you this. In your experience, the kind of organizations that you have worked for, do you see that process improvement is being, capitalized by organization to its fullest extent, or or are organizations just leaving money on the table by not knowing how to capitalize on good ideas?
No, no. So if you look at today's, so yes, there are companies which are heavily investing and they are getting the full benefit. If you look at all the big MNCs, they have come in with their own design thinking methods. So design thinking is one thing where you think about the future solution scenario. So all the big MNCs, big companies, they have their design thinking house. So they are investing heavily on process improvement areas.
Okay, Amit, I understand that you. I think you are. You've seen that organizations are investing big time and they are able to capitalize on this as well. Do you think that process improvement is the domain of experts like yourself, or is it the domain of everyone who works into the process?
Definitely, you need some kind of expertise because unless you have expertise, you very difficult. To, but yes, even the freshers they can also try with their out of thinking. Lots of people are coming with their new ideas. So if you look at it, they always tell that you should have some sort of expertise. But I come up with out of box thinking. So you start with which very experienced people may not be aware also.
That's right. So, Amit, do you feel that organizations currently have initiatives to capture ideas from just about everyone, or are they traditionally focusing on, they're putting all their eggs in the experts' baskets, which is people like who are process improvement experts like yourself. Do so. The sense that I want to get is, are companies investing in the experts more than general public, or are companies also moving towards making process improvement more of fair play for everyone is in the process, rather than focusing on experts? So how do you see that balance happening in today's times?
Tell you how I do at my current organization. So as a process improvement, guys, we are taking idea from the entire company. We have
Okay.
we ask them to put case studies or new ideas. Of that idea to go ahead and work on that. So I work with many companies really coined this idea so that they should also own this movement. And you don't know from which corner you get in.
Which is true. Which is true.
There is no monopoly.
Okay. Amit, would you like to share any case studies where you would have seen ideas have come from the non-experts, and those ideas had a lot of potential, and the companies finally, did leverage that, and it became a big success for the organization.
So to everybody, I'll tell you all the big inventions
Hmm.
done in that area. Must be knowing how the seeded technology of telephone has come up.
Hmm.
Undertaking involved this. So in all the organizations, I will be saying that even in my current organization, lots of process improvement areas are coming from finance people, the HR people. They are facing certain problems, and then as an IT people, we work on the process to improve that. It can come up from any quarter. The idea of look at manufacturing industry, and now IT has adopted it. Instances. Every company must have some instance of this process improvement, which is coming from the non-medically related people.
Okay, so let's assume that a company does invest, or if a company wants to invest in all its employees, so that everyone is given the, or is, so to say, empowered to do process improvement in their areas. What kind of trainings do you think the organizations with such mindset need to deliver to people at large? And of course, we know that these cannot be the same duration of trainings as experts would go through. There would be shorter training. So if you as a leader, if you had to choose between maybe top two or three trainings that you would like to give to all your people to ensure that everyone is empowered to at least attempt basic process improvement in their areas, what would those trainings be?
So certainly, I ideas to people how they can look at a process, how they can improve it, whether it is from IT, from industry, from anywhere. So lean definitely is one of the methods, and few methods from marketing. I will not talk about the general marketing perspective, but how you can look from the customer's perspective. So many a times as an engineer, we know that how to build something, but we don't know why to build something.
Okay.
So there should be some aspect from marketing looking why you are doing this, what kind of benefit it will give to the end user, how it is going to impact the future of this world. So from
Mhm.
those, so if you look, if I have to train somebody from IT industry, so I'll take at least these two things, and then communication. So these three aspects. Communication means how you are making your product. You have created a very good product, but how you will market this, how you will know others that this may change their life. So these mean little bit of marketing and then communication, how you are communicating through your product.
Okay. Do you feel that while working within the project group for a process improvement initiative, having good communication skills is definitely an edge for professionals, where they can get buy-in to their ideas from stakeholders and probably customers, or in this kind of a domain the best idea wins just by the nature of things? So what is your feel on
See, communication is very important. Communication doesn't mean that what you are doing in writing. Many a
that?
times your body language also communicates lots of things. So if my body language says that I am totally dedicated for you, definitely you will get lots of buy-in from your stakeholders, right? So communication means everything. How you are communicating, how you are behaving, what your body language is saying, plus how the quality of work is communicating.
Mhm.
You can study of Infosys, how Mr. Sikka has transformed the industry, how Sikka has informed Infosys.
Okay. Okay, Amit, one other question that comes to mind is that I see that you have experience not just in these two methodologies that we talked about, which is lean and the agile methodology, but you worked with you worked on Kanban technology, you worked on Scrum technology. Could you just give us an insight into what these methodologies are and what is their relevance and to somebody who is wanting to be a process improvement professional, are these the kind of methodologies one should invest their time in learning?
Definitely, if you are from Scrum, Kanban, and Kanban is a overlap between IT and manufacturing. If you are into manufacturing, definitely look at Kanban because Kanban talks about the product which is in motion state, which is in production, which people are using, and then how to improve on that. Scrum talks about how to build a software which is for future generation, for tomorrow. So
Hmm.
IT industry they have adopted to Scrum, and they have customized Lean and Kanban to suit IT industry. Whereas Lean and Kanban they are basically from manufacturing industry, but they
That's
have
true.
customized and adopted by IT. So if you are from IT, definitely go for Agile methodology, which is umbrella of Lean, Kanban, and and if you are more into that, if you want to go ahead, look at Six Sigma because Six Sigma gives you the quantification of how much you have improved. It should not happen that I am getting a gut feeling that I have improved, but I have to prove it mathematically also. So if you want to go ahead to that extent, definitely invest your time into Six Sigma, where you can mathematically quantify how much improvement you have done, how much dollars you have saved, how much money you have earned.
Okay. What is like you rightly mentioned that Six Sigma comes from the manufacturing industry and, it has been there for last 30 or, actually 40 years. Applying a methodology that was built for the manufacturing setup to today's setup where, the processes are not as stringent as they used to be, but they are more fluid, they are more people centric, people oriented. So do you feel that Six Sigma as a methodology is the right return on investment for organizations or for individuals for the impact that they are able to achieve from it?
Definitely for some industry. Take a case I am working on medical imaging, and if I say that my software is Six Sigma certified, means it is 99.9. So this gives the confidence to the patient and to the doctor that I am doing the correct diagnostics. Look at aerospace industry where I say that 99.99%